Hi, I'm Kevin Chu, and I'm joined today at City Tax by Max Hitchins, also known as Melbourne Cup Max. Welcome to City Tax, Max.
Thank you, Kevin. It's a delight to be here.
So, why is Max such an expert on the Melbourne Cup? Perhaps it's the fact that he knows the first, second, and third place getters of the last 100 Melbourne Cups. He spends 400 hours a year studying the Melbourne Cup. But he also has an incredibly successful Melbourne Cup system that picks winners. And he also writes an ebook every year titled How to Pick the Winner of the Melbourne Cup. But most importantly, Max is also a member of City Tax. So Max, can I ask you a couple of questions from someone who knows very little about horse racing?
Absolutely, Kevin.
Given that there's been a lot of coronavirus around, will
Yes.
there be a lot of international horses in the race this year?
Not only will there be a lot of international horses, Kevin, there will probably be 21. I expect to see 3 or 4 Aussie-bred horses. So we're going to be snowed in well and truly with internationals.
So I've noticed over the last couple of years, 3-year-olds have actually had quite success at the Melbourne Cup. What do the 3-year-olds look like
You're
this year?
very observant. I'm very impressed because the Aidan O'Brien, the trainer from Ireland, from Coolmore in Ireland, seems to feel that he's got a system that is super successful, and he seems to know the horses to bring out to run the 3-year-olds. Now, the last Aussie 3-year-old to win the Melbourne Cup was in 1941, a horse called Skipton. So we'd pretty much given up. The stats said no 3-year-olds will win the Cup until Aidan came up with this idea of bringing the international 3-year-olds out. And they call them the Northern Hemisphere 3-year-olds, and they get a lightweight in the Cup because they're 3-year-olds, and it's worked 2 out of 3 years. Their favourite for the Cup, or it's going to be right up there in the last minute betting, is a horse called Tiger Moth. And it's one of his, and you need to watch that very closely. It's an exceptional horse.
So Max, at the other end of the scale, can you tell me about some of the 8-year-olds that are running in the Cup this year?
Sure, Kevin. Yes, there are several 8-year-olds that are very, very good horses. A horse called Twilight Payment is one. Another horse called Stratum Albion is another. They are very, very good horses, as I said. And I'm wondering if an 8-year-old happened to win, how momentous that would be. Perhaps like the win that Carbine had in 1890. That's Carbine, by the way, often said to be the best Melbourne Cup winner of all times. But so there are several 8-year-olds, and it'd be kind of good to see one of them win, if possible.
Tell us about your need-to-know Cup information.
Yes. On our website, where we actually publish a book called How to Pick the Winner of the Melbourne Cup, there's a section, and it's called Max Watch, and it's the Need to Know page, and you can go and click on the page, and you'll see a whole heap of, or every horse in the race. We've done videos of every horse telling what they've done, all the information about the horse over the last 12 months, where it's run, how it's run, chances in the Cup. The page, by the way, is pickthecupwinner.com.au. It's what we try and do, pickthecupwinner.com.au. Very good information there.
Great, Max. So I'm going to ask you the question that's on the lips of every member at the club. Do you have a tip for City Tat members for the Cup?
Absolutely, Kevin. I do, and I think it's very good value. A horse called Stratum Albion that I did mention a bit earlier, he was $51, and I thought at $51 he was an exceptional each way bet. I'm not sure if he can win the Cup, but I do know he can run out the distance, and I think he's probably worth a few dollars each way. Stratum Albion.
So Max, I think racing is in your blood. I know that your father was a bookmaker and a publican in Moree, which also happens to be the country town that our chairman Patrick Campion hails from.
Patrick Campion is certainly from there, and his dad was my dad's doctor, so and mine as well, as a matter of fact. And my dad was taught me many things as a bookmaker. And some of the quotes he used to use was, "Time spent in reconnaissance is seldom wasted," and luck is when preparation meets opportunity. I wrote a verse and dedicated it to my dad. I'd like to finish with your approval. I'd like to finish with the verse. I was in a pub in Moree Town. First time I heard the line, "What'll win the cup?" he said as he drank his middy down. It's a cry that's heard in pub and club where there's always talk of races. It's even heard in church and school and highfalutin places. "What'll win the cup?" he said as he downed another beer. "S'pose you think the favourite will. No one thinks that round here." Great thing about the cup, you know, is everyone's a crack, can tell you what's a cert to win and which one not to back. In every place across the land they quote a favourite story, perhaps the time that Carbine won or when Farlap went to glory. It matters not where'er you are, down south they talk of R1, but Gun Cinder's still the favourite if you come from near the bar one. We all have favourite years, you know, and hard luck stories too. The year that Kiwi came from last. And what about Big Faloo? Do you remember TJ's Kingston Town? Vanderham, he loved the rain. But who was it that beat the king? Was it Golden Black or Gurner's Lane? "Carbine was the best, you know," said the bloke along the bar. "Nah, be buggered, Farlap was. Hey, give us another jar." And on and on and on it goes, as far as the pearly gate, where my old man was heard to ask, "What'll win the cup, mate?"
So Max, thank you for sharing your insights into the Melbourne Cup. And City Tats members, I hope this helps you pick out a winner on Melbourne Cup Day. So good luck on your bets on Melbourne Cups.